Hello. Did you get my notification? Okay. Welcome to the NOTE2SELF podcast episode motherfucker 60. This is the NOTE2SELF podcast. I already said that. My name is Zaina Bunny and today is January 5th, 2023. It's a new year. It's a new day. I'm about to not upload, but share this link on my Tumblr. I know nobody's really on Tumblr anymore though. And I forgot to put an O in front of the 5. I was trying to be fancy. But we got some topics to talk about. I also just want to say whoever made it to the new year, hello. Some people didn't make it. Some people didn't make it. They partied too hard. I partied. I mean, I didn't party, but I got fucked up. But then I was just like, okay, well, that's it. Because I'm getting old, nigga. Alright, first topic. Oh, well, I covered the first one already. You want to add anything? First topic, it says no alcohol, but I want to smoke. I want to smoke. I'm tired of having anxiety about like when you ever I don't know who's on the chat or whatever, or if you're old enough to smoke, or kids do shit anyways, but you ever just had that feeling where you're just consistently like having anxiety, and like the whole point of just, like smoking, you know what I mean, is to not have anxiety, and that shit just puts me in a bad mood. It feels like a bad trip the whole fucking time. But I'm trying to hold out because I don't know what I want to do yet. They're saying like a lot of people are going into like trucking and shit, and I don't know when I'm gonna have time to go to classes. Um, but everything's an excuse. Everything's an excuse. That's how I look at things now. So I'm going into my second topic: actively but realistically avoiding negativity. Every time I hear something negative, or I get a negative vibe, or a negative tone, I'm trying to turn the other fucking cheek or the other fucking way because I just don't want that energy around me at all. So it's been not 5 complete days, but it's been 4 complete fucking days because it's like 1:25 a.m. and I'm trying to open this bottle with one hand. Thank you, sir. But hell no, like once I feel like there's like a certain kind of tone, or like I just don't get where you're getting at with that negative shit, like I gotta get out of that. I can't do it. And I'm gonna see if I can keep this up for the rest of the year. But I also been really, really fucking sleepy. Like, I don't know if it's because of the weather or the time change, but it's like I'm up all night, and then like I try to make it to at least afternoon, but then I get tired and I pass the fuck out. But then I think at the same time, energy drinks, even though I love them, I think they cause like, you know, maybe cancer or something. Because like when I was working at one of my jobs, like somebody like like the higher ups and shit like that, like when you're in management and shit, like people be maintaining, nigga, like people be high as fuck, people be like smoking, like those people always taking constant smoke breaks and shit, like they was always smoking, always taking energy drinks and shit like that. So I hope that doesn't catch up with me. I know it will. But then like one person did end up getting cancer from doing that shit all the time. So I'm just like, oh shit, fuck that. Next topic. Uh, Gangsta Boo died. I remember watching her on Marriage Boot Camp, and I already knew who she was before that. Like her, 3 6 Mafia, and LaChat. Uh, what the hell happened to my vape? Thank you. But like, I can't believe it. Like when I heard that news, it was just like, like when you don't think people are gonna go. Like when you think that people are just passing away too young, I think. And then even the people who you consider old, they're going too. So it's just like, damn, I can't wait for this season to be up with. I know people die in all kind of seasons and times and shit, but it's really depressing. And then of course, when you have a group name like 3 6 Mafia, people have the conspiracy theories coming out. I mean, like it could be true, it may not be, but they be saying the devil come to collect and shit like that. And I was thinking, like, I said this to one of my friends, like, when you make like chicken nuggets or chicken tenders, those dino nuggies, nigga. And then you open up the oven and then that heat hit your motherfucking ass. Fuck that shit. I'm not going through that shit for eternity. I'm not doing it. I'm not no dino nuggie, nigga. I'm not doing it. But nonetheless, I keep an open mind. Um, but if you Google her, you'll find a bunch of conspiracies. Rest in peace, anyways, though. Next, what's the point of being woke now? And that kind of ties into the last topic because it's just like, okay, I remember like in the early 2010s, that's when I started like knowing what the fuck the Illuminati was and shit, nigga. And then like they even put in Grand Theft Auto, like it would be like a joke. It's a joke about it. Like they would put like a triangle with an eye in it, like in random places and shit like that. I think it ties into a cult in the game. I'm not sure, but I mean after a certain point, it started to become a joke, and it's like the thing is they hide in plain sight. Like that's one of the like the quote unquote laws. Like you have to tell the people what you're doing before you do it, and I mean, there's so much shit going on in the world. Like at this point, it's just like okay, like we know people are up to devious ass shit, but like, what is the point? You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't get the point of some things, and like if I don't get the point now, it's just like I move the fuck on. But it's something to think about. Like why? No input? Because I know you used to be what? Like I remember you used to be like, oh, I don't believe none of that conspiracy theory shit. But then when the people you watch on YouTube be talking about it, then you believe it. So I guess it depends on the fucking messenger, nigga. But especially with the ancient aliens coming out, niggas was just like, yeah, okay. No opinion. I mean, this shit is real, but I mean, I don't know. Like, what the fuck is the point? Like, what's the point of knowing like there's something bad going on all the time, and then you can't avoid it? So it's just like you got yourself stressed the fuck out for no fucking reason at all. There's just no point. Like, for example, like I like listening about aliens and shit like that. Not a lot, but I mean, like when it comes up, I don't mind like clicking it. But it's like, why would I want to know that there's a nigga? Okay, why would I want to know that there's a nigga in a flying saucer that could perhaps hover me up to the sky and put something in my butt and then put me back down on Earth, and then I probably give a birth to a bunch of like green babies or some goddamn shit. Who knows? What the fuck is the point? What then? I would never go outside. Or like if you're a freak, like a freaky ass motherfucker, I guess it really don't matter. I guess you would be going out there trying to get abducted by aliens. Next, but before I go on to the next topic, there's nothing wrong with having an open mind. I just don't get it sometimes. Like what are you gonna do with that information? Like once you accept that you don't know everything and you'll never know everything, then pretty much you know everything now. Think about it. Think about it. Um so I had the next topic, night owl versus morning bird. Which one are you being? You say you morning nigga? I feel more productive at nighttime. But then at the same time, if I get up, it just depends on how many people I'm around. Cause it's just like if everything is like kind of quiet, I kind of thrive, and I become the louder person. So sometimes I'm like wondering like, am I introvert or extrovert? So if everybody around is quiet, I'd be the one to be real talkative, but everybody else is talkative. I'm usually quiet because I'm trying to observe like the fucking energy. But I don't know what the hell that had to do with night owl and morning bird, whatever the fuck. I mean, I like getting up really early in the morning to see the sun come up because I think the sunrise is a little bit prettier than the sun coming down. And then you can hear like the birds chirping, and then like you can go out, and not a lot of people are up, so you can get some shit done. You don't really have to wear a mask because not a lot of people are out. I still wear a fucking mask though. because I just don't want to breathe in people's air. But then again, what the fuck can you do? If you're not breathing in contaminated air, you're still gonna die. But I say that in the most positive, loving way, though. That's how I'm looking at shit now. Not what do you call it? Positive cynicism. I want to make that a philosophy. Also, what happened to all the philosophy majors? Next, but I think I'm definitely a night owl. Like, I mean, earlier I was just so fucking tired, and now like I feel I could do a whole bunch of doing laundry. We just made like chicken wraps because we were gonna go to Papa John's, and then it said close, and I think Papa John's like y'all niggas, y'all doing some fishy shit with the little points thing. That's what I think. Cause there's just no way. And then like sometimes it would be like, okay, you need one more point. Like after you buy something, then you need one more fucking point to get some free shit. But it's like you know damn well, you know what I'm saying? And then we try to go by Little Caesars. That's a couple topics down, but I might as well address it. So we try to go to Little Caesars, and then they gonna block up the fucking drive-through with a car, and I'm just like, okay. And it just brought me back to when we went to Bojangles, which I talked about, and they talking about, lady, you know what time it is? Cause I wanted a chicken biscuit, nigga. And if you sell chicken and biscuits, how the hell you not gonna have a chicken biscuit, nigga? Make it make sense. But some people just don't want to work. And then I hate when people say some people just don't want to work because those people are like Karens. So I'm saying it not in a Karen way, but I definitely got into the media and I took a fucking picture of what I saw. I did. Will I send it to corporate? I don't know. I like that little power I got there having that photo in my phone. I'm also drinking Dr. Pepper. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Dr. Pepper. I thought it was disgusting. I'm actually drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. Um, I like Diet Pepsi. It makes me feel really hyper. I don't know why, but you know what they say about diet shit could cause like cancer in rats allegedly. And I know we're not fucking rats, but it's something to think about. I like sweet and low because you just need one little packet. You don't need like a whole big old thing of sugar to make it sweet. But you know something got to be up with that. And I remember there used to be like a Sprite. What was that Sprite called? A Sprite Zero or some shit. It was just like a. I mean, I know all the Sprites are clear, but it was like a. You know what Sprite I'm talking about? I don't know. Somebody will know, but that should make my head hurt. I think it was like Diet Sprite or some shit. I wasn't allowed to drink that, but I got it anyway. Um, but yeah, I used to think Dr. Pepper was like a real doctor back in the day. I thought that was a real doctor, and I was just like, why they selling medicine? Like they used to have a Dr. Pepper commercial on the radio, but yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Dr. Pepper. Now I am. I don't like cheer wine. It's too sweet. It's kind of nasty to me. Anyways, next. Generational black beach sold in California. So like this black family had like entitlement to this land. Like it ran in generations and shit, right? And it's like something like Malibu Beach or some shit like that. But whatever. Basically, it's good real estate owned by black people. But they didn't know that it was in the family. So the state had it or whatever the fuck. So then they fought for it, and then everybody's just like, "Yeah, you got the land that you deserve or whatever the fuck." Then I read an article yesterday or 2 days ago saying that the family sold the land for much less than what it's worth, even though like they could have leased it to the state. I didn't know you could lease land to the state. Now that got me thinking, like, damn, like they got the dollar signs going on in my head, but like, damn, like really, really, I don't know. It's that's a L. That's a major L. But I don't know the details behind it. Hopefully, the details will come out soon, and I'll get back on this topic. But I'd be damned if I sold that land. It must have been that the taxes or something. But that's ridiculous. Next, did you hear the story about the football player collapsing? They're saying, well, not well. Some people are saying like it could be because of the, you know, the Kukarachi shot, if you know what I'm saying. And a lot of people are like passing the fuck out or having like heart issues from the shot. But you can't sue. That's the thing. Like, you can't sue for those kind of injuries caused by it. So that's a win on the pharmaceutical uh, companies and shit like that. But that's a major L for civilian niggas. That's crazy. And then I'm gonna go to the autism and medication lawsuit. So I was watching I think Maury, like whatever, basic television or whatever the fuck, and it was saying like, and Robert De Niro said this shit too. They said like some medications could cause autism, right? And then now apparently, allegedly, Tylenol is getting sued because like it could cause autism. And they're saying like if you took Tylenol and your kid turned out autistic, call for this class action lawsuit. And I was like, God damn, because when I think about my mom, she took a lot of like what do you call it? Like, I guess those painkillers, those Tylenols, whatever the fuck. And I'm just like, damn, that shit just got me thinking. But then I mean, like, weren't there like autistic people in history before Tylenol was even out? You know what I'm saying? But lately, it just makes me think like there's something up. Something is up. But what can you do? The damage is done. I guess we can just prevent. But then again, it's like, okay, let's say they got rid of Tylenol. You would have to get rid of everything that's like Tylenol to prevent that. Or you just be like, oh, don't take while you're pregnant or something like that. I don't know. There's so much going on. And then I want to segue into depression and hygiene. Sometimes, like when I'm depressed as fuck, like I don't want to wash my ass. I'm not gonna even lie. Like dandruff on fleek, TMI. I take a whole bath, a bird bath. I touch up the hot areas. But sometimes it's just like you just want to lay down and you don't want to do anything. Like you rather stew in your stink and in your thoughts. But this is just a message to everybody out there, which I had to do earlier. I washed my ass. Just wash your ass. You feel better. Clip those nails. At least change your clothes. You'll feel much better. Maybe like the water is absorbing your sadness. I don't know. Next, doctor screening for weed before surgery. So like I think this is dentists or I think just surgeons in general. Now they're screening you for cannabis, which is weed or pot or whatever, because apparently like when you go under anesthesia or some shit like that, it can cause complications. I want to know more details behind that. And a lot of people don't tell that, like they don't tell their doctor that they partake in that, and then they go under surgery anyway. I don't know. I never heard of that. But who the hell goes into surgery high? More than anything, I would be looking forward to the medical high of getting surgery. But that's something that's going to happen. Something else is Amazon is laying off 18,000 people. That job was boring as fuck. Um, and I put Amazon layoffs, boring jobs, and dumb applications. Jobs are boring as fuck. Not every job. If you could find a job that like you actually love, then I guess it's not really a job. It's a I don't know. I don't know what to call that. But the applications for these jobs are pretty fucking dumb. Um like they like those personality test shit, and then they'll ask you the same question over and over and over and over, and it's just like, what does that have to do with the job? Like, what happened to the days like where you can just go like walk into a place and be like, yo, I'm interested, let me show you a little sample of what I can do, and then you get hired or they call you back? What's with all this online bullshit? And Wells Fargo, like they want you to like put your face on the camera while you answer your questions, and I just feel like, okay, you already know that I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna say everything is racist, but you already see my name. I already check off the box that I'm black, and then you're gonna see me. So what if like I know that your tactic is to weed out all the ghetto names and all the check marks. So like, let's say I put in my name, but then I put other for my race, right? Now you can see me, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But it's just funny to me because it's just like these people are. I don't know what happened if this is still going on, but people are just like, um, we're in desperate need of help. Like all these places seem like they need some fucking help, but they don't really want to hire nobody. But now it's just like, okay, now people are getting laid off. So what the fuck is the truth? I don't know. And then I have another topic related talking about working hard versus working smart, employer versus employee perspective, and quiet quitting. So back at my old job, like I worked so fucking hard. Like I made that job my fucking life. I'd be working off the clock and shit because like I wanted to be at the top, but I also love what I did. But I kept on getting overlooked for people who just they didn't really give a fuck. And then I guess that's why the job is in shambles a little bit. They can't find somebody that's really interested in coming in and doing the shit that I was pretty much doing for fucking free. But I'm just glad I'm not there anymore. But at the same time, I do miss that job. I won't lie. There's nothing better than coming home after a hard days of work and having a beer or, a blunt shit. You know what I'm saying? But then we got these people talking about working hard versus working smart. And I think that has to do with like the how they say quiet quitting. Like you do what you gotta do, the bare minimum, and then clock the fuck out, which makes it hard for people and for the next shift. Like it's like okay, I'm a work until let's say I come in at 9 and then I have to leave at like 3, but I don't clean up behind myself. Now you got the person 3 to close and they have to clean up all the shit that you did because you just wanted to leave. Now if that same person that's closing did the same shit that you did, you would be mad. It's like there's no sense of teamwork anymore. There's no sense of fucking teamwork, and it's just that's one of the things that is kind of discouraging me from doing some shit like that. Like I'd rather just have a job where I could just be by myself and all the responsibilities on me. And then the saddest thing is like when when they ask you, are you a team worker or do you work? Are you like do you work better alone? Like what the fuck kind of question is that? You know what I'm saying? Like I work good with people, but it's like I'm not about to carry the fucking team on my back, and that's the shit people is tired about. Like, fuck that. I'm not carrying shit on my back. Fuck that. And then like everybody gets the credit when I fucking did it. And then that kind of ties into another topic that I got. But fuck it. Let's keep going. My question is, when are home prices gonna drop? So we could have bought something, like maybe about 2 years ago, when shit was kind of normal in the economy. But then, like the prices went up on every fucking thing, and I'm still like I'm looking at shit now, and the prices are going down like significantly in the area that I want. But people are waiting for like foreclosures and shit, and then like the emails I get from like the realtor and shit like that, like you still showing me things that are way overpriced. So it's just like I'm so glad that every time we were about to close on a house, and the funniest thing, we couldn't really fucking afford the shit. So I think that's what had to do with the housing crash, like back when we were kids and shit like that. That's what it was about, right? Like they was lending houses out to every fucking body.
Yeah, they were giving out bad loans, basically.
Yeah, fuck that shit. And then they said they got laws against that, but nah, it was just too easy. It was just too easy to get a place. So it's just like if I can't buy something in cash, I don't fucking want it. I don't do credit. I do debit, nigga. Fuck that. But I'm still waiting patiently. It's happening, but I don't get it. Like I'm not paying $250,000 for something in the ghetto, and I'm not paying like $1,000 a month in the ghetto. I'm just not fucking doing it. Next, late millennials slash early Gen Z have lived through a lot of world changes. One time, like I saw, like when they had Photo Bucket, that website, and then they would have like pictures and shit, and then like they said, I think they said our generation, like 90s babies or like mid 90s or whatever the fuck, early mid 90s, to like late 90s or whatever the fuck. Like they say like we lived like 30 years, even though we were just like, how did that go? It was like, okay, born in Let's say born in. You really gonna fart on my podcast? But you ain't got nothing to say.
That's my input.
That's your input. Okay.
Refer back to that for all further questions.
Yeah. All right. That's gross. You didn't like it when Cobra, what's his name, King Cobra, FSS, JFS was pooping and farting and throwing up.
Snot.
He was farting on camera too.
That's not what grossed me out. It was the snot. He started like huffing cologne, and then just it was all down his face. And he was like,
Okay.
it was like,
That's nasty.
I know it's fucking nasty.
Next. You interrupted me. They talking about like in 2005 we were no, they said we lived through a couple decades. That's what we're saying, like technically. So like if you were born in like in the middle of a decade, like okay, like 95, okay, you lived in the 90s. 2000, you lived in the aughts. The tens, you lived in the tens. So that's 3 right there. And then you have the 2020s, that's 40 years. And I'm 27. You get what I'm saying? That's fucking crazy. If you think about that shit, that's trippy as fuck. What, you got poop now?
No.
But yeah, we lived through a lot of shit. Like Bean, he can't remember like 9/11. He's like born in 96, like late 96. So I think like 97 and up, that's Gen Z to me. Um, so like he can't remember 9/11. I remember 9/11 because I was in the city. But still, like, who the fuck can forget 9/11? So that happened. I remember Netscape. I remember Dreamcast. I remember all those old gaming systems and shit like that. I remember when it was about to be the year 2000. Like, I remember that kind of shit. That shit was cool. Um, but yeah, we're witnessing a lot of things in a short amount of time. So it's just crazy. Rebellion and anarchy. I think the way things are going, I've been was saying this, like the way shit is going right now, like, um, I mean, eventually, people are gonna start robbing these fucking like food trucks and shit. That's what I think. I think people are gonna start parking in front of trains and then taking shit off the train. I've seen some shit like that, like maybe like a year and a half ago. Like they just stealing shit off like Amazon. What do you call them? That go on the train, freight. Those shipping containers. Yeah, them niggas was stealing the shipping containers and shit, nigga. Fuck that. But that's what we're headed to, and it makes you think about like in high school, middle school, we learned about like the French Revolution and shit, right? So I mean, you gotta cut the head off the snake, nigga. That's how I think about it. But then I mean, like, I don't know what would be the repercussions of that. Like, would rebelling make a new regime come into place that's for the people? And if you think about it, like, I don't think. I mean, there's a stark difference between like Republicans and Democrats and like conservatives and like liberals and shit like that. But at the end of the day, like people just want like a system that works. I mean, like that's stating the obvious, but like if you really get down to it, like people are looking for somebody that can help lead or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people just want shit to run smoothly. So I don't know. I feel like, and the bad thing about it, I kind of feel like if we did start the rise against um like what's fucked up and shit like that, like we would get shut down so fucking fast because I don't think enough people, I don't want to say enough people are armed. I don't want to have like an armed thing going on, but I mean like that's the whole point of like the Second Amendment, besides like being invaded and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the government have that much control, especially if the government is like fucked up. Fuck that. Get your guns this year. I think that's one of my goals this year because I know Bean wants to do his concealed carry. I kind of want to get my concealed carry as well. Um, But I still want like a gun bunker or some shit like that. But I shouldn't talk about that because then everybody be like, "Oh, you got a gun bunker and shit like that." But it's nothing wrong with defending yourself, and I don't like how people make it seem like it's bad to defend yourself. Like shit, if you can't get a gun, get like a bow and arrow or some shit. Like they're gonna start banning knives like they do in England. I don't know if that's true though. I heard about they were gonna ban knives in England. You heard
Well,
about
you
that?
already can't carry them.
Fuck that.
I
So how do
know.
you defend yourself? You carry around a
You
baton?
no, you can't carry those either. Can't carry pepper spray, mace, tasers, none of it.
So if you get attacked, I guess sue the fucking city. Fuck it. You're just opening yourself to a bunch of fucking lawsuits. Next.
They posted one of like the local police departments posted something like, "Oh, we got these dangerous weapons off the street in a sweep search thing, whatever the fuck, from this neighborhood to this neighborhood," and it was like pliers, like literally
What can you do with that?
pliers.
I think you can stab somebody with pliers.
But still,
Yeah, shit is getting a little bit
fucking
crazy.
pliers.
And I didn't know Australia was like the way it is. Like I thought Australia was like not another America.
Nope, another England.
Not even that. Like they're kind of like they don't. I don't want to say they don't give a fuck about their citizens, but shit, like they're kind of like on some communist shit over there. Like I don't know. But the irony is like New Zealand is right next to them, and they're a bit more easygoing. I think a little bit. Yeah, but it's just crazy. You can be in like the same area and have different, like way different ideals and shit. But that's the whole point of countries and shit, I guess. Next, at one point I did want to move to Australia. I won't lie, but I'm glad I didn't do that. And I wanted to move to England too, but I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm happy where I am. But eventually I do want to travel. I just hope I don't get stuck in these places. I think one other place I do want to go to, which is kind of like not smart, is like Mexico. Only because like I'm watching my show. Was it El Senor de la Cielos? Whatever the fuck. You know I have bad accent pronunciation, but it just I mean like I'm not glorifying that it's like the Wild West, but it's like it's just interesting. But I know it's a TV show though, so and plus I love tacos and burritos and shit. So I guess I could just move to Southwest America and just be okay with it. Um, but it's important to travel. I think if I ever leave like this country, I would probably go to like Bermuda since it's so close. Like I would like take a cruise ship from like Miami to like maybe not Cuba. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. I feel like I would get stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I would take a short trip and then come back. So I do want to get a passport and I do want to get my concealed carry. Um, let's see. I still want a deli slash manifestation. So there's a lot of things online where like you can listen to like chants or like affirmations. That's the word I'm listening to. I mean, that's the word I mean, affirmations. So like you can, I believe it. I believe it. Like if you, and I also thought about Dexter's Lab when he was learning French and he played omelette du fromage over and over and over, and then that's all he could really say. That shit could happen. But what am I thinking about? Yeah, if you keep telling yourself like you can do this and like you don't have a negative mindset and you just I mean like you can't be positive all the time. You gotta be realistic. Like I said in the beginning. But if you just have some fucking faith in yourself, I think you can go far. It sounds corny, but when they told you when you were a kid that you could do anything you want when you get older, it's true. I mean, there's some plus and minuses, there's risks, but without risk, there's no gain. Like the stock market, which I still don't understand. We talked about customer service at night. So that's kind of leading me to wanting to cook at home and save some money. I also like I wanted to. I mean, I could go to the dollar store and then buy a calendar, but I end up crossing out the old holidays and the old dates and just replacing the numbers to line up because I didn't feel like buying another calendar. And like I thought the calendar I had is cute. It has cats, illustrated cats. So I saved myself $1.25 in tax. Um, yeah. And I also been waiting a long time before I go out and get more groceries. I want to push that a little bit more this month and this year by like doing like meal plans and stuff like that. I do believe in leftovers, and I don't like one thing that pisses me off is like when people waste food. I don't know, it might be an old school thing, but that shit pisses me off. Next, uh, we talked about Dr. Pepper. So Grandpa started like physical therapy this week, and we're supposed to go in for like more blood tests tomorrow. He didn't want to go out today because like it's tornado season, and we thought a tornado was coming. And he was like, "Fuck that! I'm not going out." So we're gonna go tomorrow and find out, what's going on. I kind of uh, I'll put this in with the next topic about everything being a scam. Like I'm not saying like all these places are a scam, like healthcare and shit like that. But I just feel like everything is for profit, damn near. And I know people talk shit about capitalism and shit like that. Like they were even saying like the people that died in the snowstorm was a casualty of capitalism. I'm just like, I mean, it's true, but that's kind of like excessive to say. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit dramatic, but I mean, if you are having to drive to and from work in a fucking storm or else you get fired, like what kind of shit is that? And then did you guys know that something exists where like your job can take out life insurance on you? Because that shit happened to me. I was just like, I don't recall taking out like this life insurance. And then I got like a paper for it after I quit. So I need to look into that. But I think it's called Dead Peasants Insurance or something like that. Look it up. But I'm just hoping like I get the truth about what's going on with Grandpa because they were saying like, oh, his kidneys are getting better. Then they're just talking about, oh, it's not so good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, what the fuck is the truth? And then we're thinking about like hospice, and I don't know too much about that. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope for the best, and I kind of hope that he at least makes it into his 90s. Shit, even like 100, that would be cool. I mean, like shit, like I don't know if I wouldn't live that long, but it's just scary sometimes for like him to be talking to me and saying like, I mean, he's like he's nervous, he's scared, he's just like I've never been old before. How the fuck I'm supposed to know what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So it's like when your body's falling apart, like what the fuck can you do? So I think that kind of inspires me to at least cut out the drinking and take a little bit more care with myself because even though I want to live a long time, I mean, I do, but it's just no point of living when your body's broken down. It's just like, okay, you have a car, but you didn't take care of it and you're going across country. Like, fuck that. Your body is a car for your brain. So, and also shout out to one of my best friends. She said, well, not she didn't say, but she's into like teas and herbal healing and stuff, and I'm not gonna knock it. Shit. Next, I wanted to put. We only have two more topics left. One is karma is a bad man jama, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say on that one. It's true. As the sky is blue, treat others the way you want to be treated. That's not a fart. That's the cat, y'all. But yeah. Cause I don't know, man. Like I just feel like the chickens are coming to roost for some niggas, And then the way I be seeing how the chickens come in the roost, that shit got me a little bit shook. So I'm gonna treat people nicely. I'm gonna try to. Excuse me, because I don't want nothing bad to happen to me because I did something to somebody else. Also, Call of Duty still sucks. Um, what else? And the last thing, war on drugs fail. So I've been watching a lot of like kingpin documentaries, about like big time what do you call mobsters? Hold on. Like talking about like big time mobsters and like how they made millions and millions of dollars and shit like that. And then it shows like George Bush, not the kid George Bush, the son, but George Bush Senior, nigga. Talking about like the war on drugs. I think Reagan said some shit about the war on drugs too. But my thing is just like it was a fucking epic fail, and I think it was designed to fail so the pockets can be lined up of these pharmaceutical companies and shit like that, and the jail system and stuff like that. Like to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And like most of these people in those high up spots, them niggas is high. You know what I'm saying? And then you can be high off the street, and or you can be high off like prescription. Either way, people getting fucked up. Like people been getting fucked up since caveman times. Nigga, they was eating mushrooms and shit and getting fucked up. So it's just like, what's the point? Like I know, like I don't know, like I know I sound like an asshole, but then like when I watch these shows and then they're locking up people who produced manufactured and distribute these things, right? Ain't nobody told you to go get fucking high. That's what I'm thinking. Like, and even when I watch like the Manson shit, right? Like, that nigga went to jail, right? I think he killed somebody. Yeah, at least killed one person now. But besides that, like, if you tell a group of idiots to go kill people and they do it, I don't know. Like, maybe if you felt like you didn't have no choice, then okay, that's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was threatening them, he probably was. I believe it. But it's like, I don't know. I even find a contradiction in that because it's like, okay, like let's say you're scared of me for any reason. You're just scared of me, right? Let's say I wasn't threatening you or something like that, and I just told you like, yo, go out and do that shit. Like, go murk somebody, and you go out and do it. Why the fuck is that my fault? Why couldn't you just go out like yeah, I'm about to go do this and then like run away? Like why? So I don't know. Like that whole war on drugs thing. I don't know. I don't know. I got a lot of opinions on that, but also fuck the people who give the drugs to kids. But then I'm saying like gives the drugs to the kids. Those are people that need to be locked the fuck up. Like giving the shit to like vulnerable people. But at the same time, if you know, like you can even go on YouTube and then you can look at like drug use pictures and shit like that. It's a choice that you make. So why the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if they were paying taxes on that shit, I guarantee you we wouldn't see those people on those shows. That's what I think. If they was paying taxes on the income they was making for selling drugs, I think they would get away with it. Like, why are people getting in trouble for choices that people make? I just don't get. But tis the life. It's all interesting. So as my brain expands as I age, I question a lot. I learn a lot, but then at the end, I know nothing. Which goes back to our one of our first topics on the show. The less you know, the more you know, or the more you know, the less you know. Who gives a fuck? I don't know. You got anything to add, Bean? Oh, I was talking about like you know how we was watching like those mobster shows and shit, and them niggas was going to jail. But then it's like, ain't nobody told those people to go get high. Ain't nobody told those people to do drugs and shit like that. No one forced a crack pipe in your fucking mouth. But then like after these people making money off those fucking idiots, they go to jail. But then the crackhead's still walking around looking for more crack. But why wouldn't you? Like if
Because
you,
you go to jail for it.
but that's the part of the topic though. Like it's saying like I'm saying
I mean,
like
I'm not saying the war on drugs works. I'm just saying.
like if you know you could like let's say like okay we ain't got no job nothing like that, but we have access to getting some shit like that to sell, right? Why the fuck wouldn't you? And like you making a whole bunch of like you making your whole year's worth of salary in one fucking week. Hell yeah, you would do it. Hell
The
yeah.
reason why is because you don't want to go to jail and you don't want to get shot.
But why do you have to go to jail? That's my thing. It's just like why do you have to go to jail? It's all about supply and demand. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so if it wasn't illegal, the people selling crack wouldn't be the people selling crack. It'd be McCrackles. Fucking
McCrackle.
Papa Cracks.
Yeah, but then you can get that from the pharmacy though. Like the pharmacist is the damn drug dealer.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the people making money off the drugs, they wouldn't be the ones making the money off of it anymore, anyways.
You have the manufacturers making the money though.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. Like you're saying like okay, it'll be like McCrackles, right? But then even then, like it's like when you sell burgers, you have to go get the cow. You know what I'm saying? So if the niggas got cows, you can just sell the cows to the McCrackles. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll be funneling even more money into South America through drugs, right? So that's where it all goes. It's like $250 billion a year.
Some of that shit come from China too.
Oh, I know, but I mean, I'm saying most of it comes from there, or at least through there.
I ain't got no problem with it. I just think if you that dumb to go get fucked up like that's like I don't know, it's just dumb. Like going out to a party and someone's like, "Hey, you want to try some crack?" Bitch, you know what the fuck crack do. That's your choice. So if you dumb enough that I can make money off of you, that ain't on me. I gotta live too. It's just things I'm thinking about, and it got me thinking about like the whole opioid. I forgot what it's called. What is it in China back in the day? Like the opioid something. Oh, was it? Like they had opioid dens and shit. Like it's one of the first cases like of war on drugs. I forgot, but it's deep. Like they was even selling drugs on the Silk Road, nigga. Like you could be like some guy in England, and then you're just like, yo, I got that shit off the Silk Road, dog. Like I got that hair on.
You know, all that shit was actually owned by the CIA.
I heard crack was owned by the CIA.
Like the Tor browser, like you know the thing that most people use to get on the dark web.
Mm-hmm.
Literally made by the CIA.
I also I think
Like
I heard about like LSD, like acid and shit. Like it's all for like mind control.
I don't know if that's what it was initially concocted for, but I know they definitely tried to do that a lot, and that's part of the reason Manson was so crazy. He was one of those dudes, and they shot him up with LSD.
That shit's crazy as
And
fuck.
they even he got arrested for a bunch of stuff, and then some people would come in and get him out.
But my thing is like, if government wants control, right, and we talking about Illuminati, and we put in like images, secret images and shit. If you know the easiest way to get control is like the funnel society with drugs, like why don't you just like put that shit in the water system or some shit like that? Like put acid in the water system and display a message to Americans of what you want.
I don't know if I don't really know how much I believe in like the full Illuminati, but I definitely believe there's like really rich and really powerful people doing shady shit. And then I definitely believe the CIA does a bunch of shady shit.
But what's the point though? Like after they get like when they talk about like, the new world order and shit, like okay, you got everybody under your control. What then? What is it? Money? Because you can just print that shit out.
I was about to say for the rich people, I think it's more getting richer and keeping poor people down and controlling poor people and all that shit, like controlling the masses, so they do what the fuck they want and they don't get too rowdy.
Like a slave class or some shit like that.
Pretty much, pretty much. And then for the CIA, I think it's like people in charge to stay in power and to further their whatever the fuck they're.
But them niggas getting high too. That's the thing. It's just like I don't get the point of none of this shit. It don't make no sense. All I know is like they need to free some niggas out of jail. I know I sound mad, like ignorant or whatever the fuck, but it's just like shit. If the government is doing it, or you can go to school for like 10 years and you become the drug dealer legally, like what's the issue? I just don't get it. Like why don't they have like trade schools for you to be like a pharmacist? I'm sure they do though. Like they have like you can apply to like a drug store, and you can become a pharmacist or some shit. Like you pushing drugs out on people at the end of the day. Like when you get old, all they do.
Pharmaceutical companies are a whole different.
But they a part of that shit too.
Yeah, I'm saying they're like a whole different wing of it. I think they're part of like the super rich people.
Well, I think that's all I have to talk about. Anything else you want to add? All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know what the fuck video I'm gonna make. Follow me on Pinterest. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, I don't know what videos to fucking make, but I like talking. So you guys comment some topics that we can put on the bottom, like topics of discussion and shit like that, so we can talk. And I think there's a link I can put so like people can call in and say some shit. But we'll get to that eventually. Um, but as always, stay gold, nigga, and treat people the way you want to be treated. As always, karma is a bitch. Anything else? That's it. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for having me. Please subscribe and leave a like. And that's it. Peace.